Hey everyone, this is Doug Kenny from Relentless and Unstoppable, and we have our next guests, Chuck Keels and his wife. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, Doug. How you doing, bud?
Doing really good. To tell everybody a bit of how I connected with these people, I was on a panel with them with Christine Hotchkiss from Stories of Hope, and that I was impressed by their journeys of how they overcame a lot of struggles, and now they're on Relentless and Unstoppable. So Chuck, give our followers a bit of what you're known for.
Yeah, have went through a journey and are still continuing through that journey. In 2015, as crazy as this sounds, I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. I was waited a long time, like the male mentality. I'll be okay tomorrow. It got worse and worse, and by the time I got into an emergency room, they said that the cancer got into my bone marrow and it scattered through my body. I was stage 4, may have 3 months to live, and sent me home to be in hospice. And so I'm thinking I need to get my boys back to Ohio before I melt away. And the day we were supposed to leave Phoenix, Arizona to fly back to Columbus, Ohio, I suffer a compression fracture, which is a broken back. The cancer had been damaged in the bone. I collapsed, was rushed to a hospital, had emergency surgery, and was in the recovery room awake by this time. The docs came in and explained the surgeries went perfectly. And as I'm laying there, the entire room turns weird cold for no reason at all. And so as I'm laying there, I'm thinking somebody probably opened the doors at the end of the room and left them open and the cold air came through. But when I looked down, the doors were closed. And when I looked back to my left, I jumped and I'm looking at a brown robe, white scarf, beard and face. And in my brain, I'm starting to think, is it a doctor? Is it a nurse? And I honestly, in my brain, I just heard I was in the presence of Jesus. As crazy as this sounds, he reaches out and touches my shoulder and he's gone. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, what was that and why me? And that day, from a broken back, surgeries and everything, all the pain stops. And so I seen where something was kind of starting. I really didn't know what it was. But as I seen myself going through this unbelievable recovery from stage 4 cancer, I figured it was my journey to help cancer people. And as I started into that venture alongside of my landscape and swimming pool design career that I was already doing here in Phoenix, I was introduced to a beautiful young lady who was dealing with cancer herself. And I want you to meet my wife, Hannah.
Yay.
Yeah, Hannah, what was your cancer battle like?
So I started in 2016, 1 year after him. We didn't know each other and was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I have been in active treatment ever since. So once it's stage 4, technically they don't have an end to treatment. So till it's completely gone, I won't be able to be off of anything. So I'm on medication right now.
That's tough. Did it have a mental impact on you both even after you survived, Chuck? And yeah.
Absolutely. That's how we got into a position now where we turned it into a coaching situation, is because we knew what we dealt with through our journeys. We know what we deal with right now on this crazy roller coaster that they call cancer, and maybe stage 1, maybe stage 2, it's not as much, but just most people hear the word cancer and freak out. So you can imagine when you get into the stage 3 and stage 4, where it's showing up in places in the body and stuff. So yeah, the mental side of that is a huge challenge. And at this point, it's not that we don't get upset. It's not that we don't have hard times. It's that they don't last for days and weeks and months like they used to. We identify them and we can get through them a lot faster now.
Yeah, and probably even since we've been interviewed and on the panel together, things have happened to my body. And I think you knew I had a broken neck, but then my lower spine broke. I ended up having a fusion on that last year. And so that landed me in a wheelchair and in bed for quite a while. And that has a whole mental play to it as well, where you are looking at your future and wondering, am I ever going to get out of bed? Am I ever going to be able to walk again? Because it just doesn't feel like it. And so I think that's where we realized we had to keep living what we coach. And Chuck's been really helpful with that. Also, tapping into our faith is a huge piece of it for me, for us. So that's been a really big part of the mental battle, is informing my mind what's actually true and what's possible, instead of looking at it all from a victim perspective.
Yeah, this morning something really crazy happened that you guys know about that I'll talk about, down the road. But I'm sure you guys had the same lesson as I did, but we should not take our lives for granted.
Yeah.
No, it can change in a second, as you know. And the thing is, after my journey and what we deal with on a regular basis now, in that coaching event, if it's a one-on-one coaching or first standing on stage in front of 200 people, it's the same lesson. And that's called live in the moment. Really live in the moment, appreciate what's going on in your life right now, and don't waste that time by filling up that with things that aren't important to you. Spend your time where it's important. Spend the time with people you love.
Yeah, definitely. So what lessons did you learn out of the cancer battle and the mental impacts?